welcome to the channel. My name's Andy, welcome to the BOTG Adventure channel, and welcome to the interior of my camper van. We finally got a camper van. I've wanted one of these for so many years that it finally happened. Now, it's not a Ford, it's not a VW. Stupid money, absolutely stupid money. He says he'll probably have one eventually. But this is my 2018 Dispatch Enterprise Edition Citroen Dispatch. And you know what? Ever since I've actually bought this vehicle, I've been having it every weekend. I absolutely love it. So a few people have said, will you go around and show us the interior, show us a few little bits of what you've actually done with your van? Now, this has been a work in progress for a while now, so it's not finished, but I will show you the few little bits that I've done. Well, wait a minute. Not that I've done. My mates have helped me with, especially Steve, so big up Steve for helping me get these little bits done in the van. There are other little things I want to do. I want to get a pop top on. We'll talk about that as we go around and look at the van. A lot of the interiors are very generic in these vans. It's kind of like they are very samey, so don't be expecting anything mind-blowing in here. But let's have a quick look around and I'll show you my beautiful van called Pepper. On the outside there are a few little bits. I wanted to get a bonnet bra eventually, and of course everybody says, oh, you need a pop top, adds to the value. But yeah, a pop top's only good if you're going to stay in it in summer. In winter it's not the warmest thing, even though we've got a, is it a Dispatcher? I've forgotten the name of it now. Dispatcher heater in there. Bodywork is actually in quite good condition. Of course, we've got some nice alloys on here, a little bit dirty here as I've ridden up into the Yorkshire Dales, so we've been through all of it today. Lovely. But here on the back of the van, it's pretty much basic, although I have got down here a Wolfbox reverse parking camera, which is absolutely essential for me because where I live, neighbours are always parking next to each other and I always struggle to get, well, anyway. So on the back, I've also had some LED lights installed here, and we'll have a look at the system for that on the inside. Now, I'm going to have to get some clips for these to rise them up so they can tilt these down more, otherwise it lights way too far back, and I actually wanted it to kind of light down here. But we'll have another look at that. One thing I do need to replace on the van, just for my OCD, is these. The paint's actually cracking on these, and that's the worst part on this vehicle. And having looked at other people's, they seem to have exactly the same issue. So barring that, there's nothing different on the outside. Of course, we've got the windows on both sides. But yeah, that is the interior. Love this van, absolutely love it. Drives like a dream. And of course, I have been camping in the Ford and the VWs, and this, with a mattress topper and everything else, is absolutely brilliant. Have a look on the inside. So, on the inside, we have, where should we start? We've got some basic hooks here for hanging stuff off, bags, clothes, t-shirts, you name it, whatever you want to name. Now down here, as we come down here, let's have a look. What have we got down here? Well, this is my kill switch. Without the key in there, nothing in the back of the van will be powered on. So there we go, and that obviously tells us how much battery once it's in. It tells me how much battery we've got left, and the voltage going through is over here, and that shows me the voltage that's actually in the leisure battery. Of course, we've got two 12 volts. I can get my teeth in, and we've got the old USB and the plug down there. So as we step in, everything's in a kind of a charcoaly dark black gloss, which I'll be honest with you is not my preference, because every time you touch something it leaves a horrible fingerprint on there and it's awful. It constantly, if you've got any sort of OCD, you're going to be constantly wiping them down. So in the back of the van, obviously we've had LED lights and the top's all been coated, and we have a button there which turns these on. Back of the van, admittedly they are a little bit on the bright side, but hey, it is what it is. So the control panel over here, we have got some spare switches here. These are all spares. Obviously this is a second voltage meter for the leisure battery, and we've got more USBs and things like that, and we've got the two plugs as well. I've got a CO2 checker, that's for the gas. Just to be on the safe side, I recommend that everybody gets one of these. They're only cheap, and if it gives you peace of mind, why not? Up there I've got the Dispatcher timer for the heater. The heater is down there. Well, that's where the heat comes out, and I'll show you how I've got that set up in a minute. Barring that, it's all pretty basic. Obviously we've got all these in here with all your little gubbins, and yeah, I've got the medical first aid, I've got, what else have I got in there? I've got basically all sorts. You know what it's like when you go out hiking and camping and what have you. Yeah, tripods, you name it, it's all in there. Of course, under the bed that pulls back, you've got all your storage under there for a chair and your backpack and all that kind of malarkey. You don't need to see all that. I have got a high gear double sleeping bag, because I find that a normal sleeping bag makes me claustrophobic. I don't like it. I like to be able to stretch out. I might do a review on that. That was from Go Outdoors. Brilliant. And also my mattress topper as well. Might do one on that. I've got a Panda mattress topper. So that's the interior at the back. I'm not going to put the bed down. You probably don't need to see under here. I think we're all aware of what's under these. You've got your sink on that side where I put food in there to stop any sort of rattling, and then on that side more food and your gas hobs in there. I'll sort that out in a minute. Why have you got magnets on there? Well, that's because I haven't got curtains in at the minute. It means you can hang material up there and stick them on. But what I do on a night time is I put these up, and that hides some of the light when you're actually sleeping with your head at that end. Over here I've got one of these little level strips, so I know that when I put that down now, you can see you don't want to have your feet where the bubble is, so we're actually quite off kilter here. Some of those wheel chocks would come in really handy. So that's enough of that. So this is the other side door, which I actually forgot to show you. And of course we've got various things in here like water carriers, we've got a lot of this sound dampening stuff, which is brilliant for putting stuff on, it doesn't rattle around. So down here, barring my hiking boots on the ground, this is the system that I have got currently, which is your grey water, sorry, normal water, fresh water, grey water which comes from the sink if you use it, and back there is the diesel bottle, a 10 litre diesel bottle, which feeds into the heater, which is actually under there. Exhaust for that comes out, as all camper vans know, it comes out underneath there, which I'm going to replace at the minute because it's a bit on the tatty side, is that pipe. Inside, I should have cleaned it and valeted it before I did this video. Right, what have we got in here? Not a huge amount that's going to be any different from default, to be honest with you. Of course we've got Wario. Let's get the keys in. But what I really like about this van that I've had installed by Steve is this here. Meaning it's such a doddle to be able to reverse park with, and this is a dash cam that records all the time. Got split screen there. Absolutely brilliant. And then when I put this into reverse, we've got a reversing camera as well, which is, you can flick that into full screen if you want to look down and look forward. And of course, it's great, not that you would ever need to do this, but you can move this camera up and down as well. So that's really it. There's not a huge amount that's not default in here. Yeah, we've got the old Lappy Toppy. Yeah, I say basic, but you get the idea. These bands are all kind of really the same. Down there I've got a little foldable bin, so I try to keep it as tidy as I can. And that, ladies and gentlemen, really is it. That is the 2018 Citroen Dispatch Pepper. I absolutely love her. She's brilliant. There's not really a lot else I can show you.